Welcome to an episode of A World Made of Cardboard Designs. Now, if you are a mint-in-box action figure collector, you find it very easy to display figures that have a nice flat bottom on them. You can set them on your shelf and there's no problem whatsoever. This starts to get a little more tricky when they're mint on card. Some of the cards do pretty well and stand up quite well by themselves. However, that's not the case with all carded figures. Most of the cards the bubbles have a little area where you're supposed to be able to stand up the figure in the package. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's all a matter of what figure you get and how well it stands up. Sometimes they lean way too far and it's just not going to stand up at all. But then there are figures that have absolutely no way to stand up by themselves. Now, most people would go with the idea of just getting a hook and hanging the figures up on a shelf or something for display that way. And that's perfectly fine. But there's times that you don't have that amount of room to be able to hang hooks and plastic hooks and command strip type hooks so that you are able to display these figures. Now you could go to the store and buy sets of easels and little picture stands to be able to display your figures if you want to display them on the shelf, but those can get expensive, sometimes even at $1 each, and if you have a lot of figures you want to display, that can add up, and it could take away from that precious money to buy action figures. So I came up with this, an action figure stand to hold mint on card figures that's made out of cardstock. It can hold a 3 3/4 inch action figure. It can hold a 6 inch action figure. And it can even hold some of those odd figures that are along the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show how to make one of these stands in this video. Okay, I've printed out the pattern. This pattern is available in the description below. It's on PDF that you can download. The instructions are there as well. So it'll show you how to make this stand. So first thing you have to do is cut it out. Now I'm doing something a little different with the instructions this time. I've actually made the lines in my design on this pattern different so that you'll know where to cut and where to emboss so that you can fold it. As you can see, I've tried to make it as simple as I can. So that you can make as many as you need to display your action figures. So this is how I solved many of my problems when I was a kid. I would come up with my own designs for things that I needed to make and do, and I would just make it myself. To a point, of course. There were some limitations. Now with a computer and PDFs and on printers and everything, I'm able to actually make these things reproducible instead of just one-offs. Now you can also print this out on different color paper too. I'm just using white because it's the paper that I have the most of here. And sorry for the squeaks. That's my chair. Next, we need to cut out the slots. Now I made the slots where you don't have to cut them totally out. You just can make a little slot and slide the tab underneath it. Yeah, this pattern's doing something a little different from my others that I've made. You cut on the dotted lines and emboss on the solid lines. That way you know exactly where you need to cut. And if you like this idea, maybe future patterns that I make, I might follow this same thing so that it's easier to build. Still going to use my trusty pencil to do the pen, dry ink pen, to do the embossing. You can use an embossing tool if you have one. I thought about making this video as one of those commercials where they show a person that's totally inept with the things of the world. Do you have trouble doing average everyday things and need special help? Buy our new product. You know, they show the person making mistakes all in black and white or muted colors. But this is designed to be a simple stand. Goes together pretty quickly. Can't reach that one. There it is, an action figure stand. And so there they are, holding up figures that don't really have any other way to stand on their own. The stand is designed to where the back of the card is completely supported as much as possible, so there's little risk of bending the card while it's standing up there. And you can put, like I said, just about any figure that has a decent card on it. Now, it will not work with everything. Please understand, it will not hold every figure up. Like I found this, though it does hold, it is very, very unstable. Mainly because most of the weight is leaning forward on this figure. Same thing with Hot Wheels cars. This just will not work. Now, if I wanted to, I could have made a little clip here that would hold it, but I figured, no, this is just going to go like it is. So, for mostly, this works well with card figures where they are close to the card and balanced nicely on a little stand. But that's all I have for today, and happy building, and thank you for watching.